All right, we have talked about different kinds of nouns. We've talked about common nouns and proper nouns and collective nouns. So now we're going to put our nouns into another category of concrete and abstract nouns. You should already have your notebook put together with your flaps cut and glued with our definitions and our examples under the flap, and then our writing prompt at the bottom of your page. So we're going to go ahead and fill in the definition for concrete nouns. Concrete nouns are perceivable by your five senses. You can feel, taste, smell, hear, and see concrete nouns. So these are the nouns that you can actually grab a hold of and go to and experience with your senses. So we're going to look at the inside of our flap and see our different examples of concrete nouns. So our concrete nouns can be proper or common. So examples of people that are concrete nouns are the dentist, would be a common noun, or a specific person, for example, Joseph. So I want you to go ahead and come up with 3 more examples of people that would fall into the category of concrete nouns. All right. So hopefully you came up with a few more there. It can be anything that is any kind of person. It can be their job title or a description of them that identifies them specifically. So a name or a title. So doctor or Mary would be examples. All right, animals. Any animal, like a dog or a gorilla. A dog and a gorilla are both examples of common nouns, but you could even have proper nouns that are examples of animals that are specific and famous names of animals, like maybe Perry the platypus or Lassie. Places, again, can be common or proper. You can have something that is like the word island, that is a common noun, or a specific place like Cincinnati. Go ahead and see if you can add a few more places to our concrete nouns list. Finally, concrete nouns can be objects. These are the things we find around us, that when you just sit up and look around the room, anything that you can identify around you would fall into this category. So cake, glasses, and as I look around my room, I see my pen or my glue. Those are examples of concrete objects. See if you can add 3 more to your list of concrete objects. Now we're going to address abstract nouns, and abstract nouns are a little harder to identify than concrete nouns. We're used to talking about nouns being something that you can grab a hold of, something that you can physically touch or see or smell. So these are 2 examples of concrete nouns, my glue and my pen. Abstract nouns are things that we cannot grab a hold of, that we cannot and experience with our senses. So abstract nouns exist, but you cannot perceive them. They name actions, events, ideas, qualities, and conditions. These are things that we experience in our mind, or our ideas about life that we have. So we're going to look at some examples over on our flap. So go ahead and look at your flap, and we're going to identify some abstract nouns. So the first one we're going to talk about are actions or events that we experience. So something like Friday, a date. Any date would be considered an event, or a time of our life like childhood, or something going on around us, like war. And so all of these things, there are concrete nouns that we can apply to them and use to describe them. But for the most part, these things are simply ideas that exist in our head that we have developed. See if you can come up with a couple more actions or events that would go on that list. Ideas also fall into abstract nouns. So energy, freedom, courage, any emotion would fall into that category. So go ahead and see if you can add a couple more ideas to that list. Qualities are characteristics we apply to people or animals or objects. So the quality of beauty. Beauty is a noun, but it's not something we can grab a hold of or experience with our senses. Kindness is another quality. Any character trait that you would apply to a person or an animal would be something that would fall into qualities. Then conditions are things that we talk about, conditions of our body or conditions of our being. So the condition of diabetes or being weak, a sickness, or any feeling word could also go here, like happiness. Those are all conditions that we experience as human beings, and they're all abstract nouns. So go ahead and see if you can add a few more to that list. When you're finished with your lists, we're going to look at a writing prompt. And what you're going to do here is you're going to choose an abstract noun. So it can be anything from our list, or it can be one that you think of yourself. And we're going to describe it using other abstract nouns and concrete nouns. We'll draw a box around any concrete noun that we use and a cloud around any abstract noun we use. So if I were to talk about the concept of Christmas, that's my original abstract noun, and I might say it is a holiday. Holiday would be our noun, and it's abstract. We could also say we celebrate Christmas with gifts and decorations. Gifts and decorations are both nouns, but these nouns are concrete. We can actually grab a hold of them, touch them, feel them, experience them with our senses. So I'm not going to write anymore because I want you to have some things to write about. So I'd like to see you write 3 to 5 sentences describing whatever abstract noun you choose, and including other abstract and concrete nouns to describe what you're writing about.